Welcome back to the Tracie Trendy Show, my lovelies. It's another day. It's another dollar. And unfortunately, it's the season finale of Love After Lockup, my loves. What a beautiful, messy train wreck we had this season. Okay. Now, first on the docket is Courtney and Will. They were fighting last week and they decided to meet up because this is Will's last day in town and they want to, get things right with each other. And they do, and everything seems hunky dory. So when it's time for Will to leave, Courtney asks for his credit card, and he gives her a limit, $1,000 a month. And just when we think everything's all sunshine and rainbows, 6 weeks later, Courtney makes headlines again for being arrested. So we're going to have to buckle up, folks. This roller coaster love of Will and Courtney is going to get started all over again on Life After Lockup. And I think perhaps she got arrested for that warrant. Whew, or some kind of warrant, okay? Because she had one in Washington State. Now, moving on to Alexis and Julius. That's on the docket, as well as that bacon that is struggling in that pan. Now, I want to know, how can bacon look burnt and undercooked at the same time? Now, picture this. Alexa's in the kitchen. She has brought home the bacon and frying it up in the pan. And the only thing on her mind are the whereabouts of Julius, who apparently decided to let the sun beat him home. Now, spoiler alert, he pops in just in time for the food, asking the age-old question, where is the food? And of course, Alexis, the only partner in this relationship, has a hot plate ready for him. Now, hold on to your forks because things get serious. Julia lets Alexis know that he's a rapper now, and that's kind of like late nights and hoes is kind of how it goes. Late night and hoes is kind of like it goes. And the kicker is Alexis dropped the bombshell that she's pregnant. And, let's cue that dramatic music because being a father is not Julius's calling. And he's pressed. He stumbles even more over his words. And you can practically hear the gears turning in his head. Now, I've got a lot going on right now, he says. A lot, okay? A lot going on. This has been a month. He doesn't have a job. He sits and raps, and she pays for his studio time. So what's a lot got going on? I don't understand. So anyway, he probably thinking right now he should have wrapped it up. And he kind of hints to her that maybe she should end things with the baby, the pregnancy. And that's when Alexis walks away in tears and just leaves him standing there like a deer in headlights. And that's when she reflects on her own childhood living in a single parent household and how, how it's so was heart-wrenching moments, her and her mom throughout the years. But we know Julius is just here for the bacon and the effing, right? He's here for the bacon and the effing. And fast forward to the next scene where Alexis casually asks Julius if he's going to get a driver's license for this job so she can possibly have a light bright baby. His response, hell to the nah, you're strong. Go pick up more hours. That's right, Julius. Tell her, you strong. Go pick up more hours. And translation, that means I'm the catch. And don't you forget it. Now, all he can offer is some eggplant. And she's lucky to be in his presence. And don't tell me, y'all, this is the first time he came sideways with her like that. He did this to Ashley in record time. So I know this is not the first time he went sideways with Alexis. So he's kind of using the same line. I'm the catch. Okay. He said all he can offer is some eggplant and maybe his head on a pillow next beside her. And she's lucky to be in his presence. So I'm really feeling Alexis, you know, no sympathy. I do like her goal that she's juggling 2 jobs, school, and she added more on her plate. She should know that she'll have the baby, but she won't have that man when he walks out that door. So, now she's going to have to handle pregnancy like a pro, which she does. They welcome a baby girl. But, I can't feel sorry because she didn't vet this man properly. As soon as he got out the pokey, she making a baby with him. And he's not gonna be the responsible person. He's just not. Meanwhile, our girl Alexis is juggling two jobs, school, and now she's gonna have to handle pregnancy like a pro, which she did. She welcomed a baby girl. But here's the kicker. She picked this man and she did not take any time to vet him. So while he didn't exactly choose her for the long haul, guess what? These two dummies made a baby in 2 weeks' time. And that's on both of them. Seriously. And so we all know that she kicked him out, but I believe she'll bring him right back in. Moving on to Deodric and Kiana. Now, Kiana argues with Deodric because she found out that he cheated on her with Joella, whatever her name, the baby mama. So she's really pressed because she put a lot of money on this man's book. Mind you, she got a couple of kids of her own, and she's financing a man that already got three hots in the cot. That's a guarantee. So he tries to change the narrative in their argument, talking about that she slipped up when he was in the pokey. And I think what he wanted to say is that she had a baby on him. Well, I mean, you spending your time in the pokey, life still continues. And Kiana's thing is, if the roles were reversed, if she was in the pokey, he wouldn't stay faithful because he never stayed faithful in the free world. So she kicks him in the ring out the door. And they cue the happy dance with Joella, who's clearly thrilled to have snagged the sloppy seconds. Okay? But wait, plot twist alert. Deodric is still keeping one foot in Kiana's door. These two clearly have a case of can't quit each other. And honestly, it's the train wreck in slow motion that we got a rubberneck to look at. These two women should end the battle in all of this because this has been going on years. Just have two kids by Deodric. And these kids are sizable age. The oldest one is sizable age. So this is many years. And I think they should just be sister wives at this point. Just be sister wives. Call it a draw. Now, JK and Brooke are next on the docket. Let's dive into this chaos, shall we? Oh, girl, Brooke is on a mission. She's like, F this job. That she needs that job to feed her kids, but she's like, I gotta head over to Alexis' house. She got the fury of 1,000 suns. She is hot. Okay? And honestly, if there were a trophy for most heated, Brooke would be standing on the podium, fist raised high, ready to deliver some serious justice. Okay? So meanwhile, we have Alexis, another Alexis, who apparently auditioning for the role of Queen of Denial. She boldly declares that she didn't cheat on JK while he was cooling his heels in the pokey. And JK, bless his confused heart, is left scratching his head like a cat with a bad case of the fleas. Now, why can't you just take accountability, Alexis? He wonders. It's like trying to teach a goldfish to fetch. Good luck with that. So they keep arguing until she finally, you know, breaks down a little bit. And then JK, he's heartbroken. He can't seem to shake the fact that Alexis hurt him. She hurt him. I guess he's the business of hurting women, not the other way around. So, as just when you think things can't get any wilder, enter Brooke with a call to JK. She calls JK, telling him she already knows he's at Alexis' place. And JK drops when Brooks casually reveals that she's been tracking his phone. And in a stunning turn of events, JK admits he said his piece to Alexis and he chose Brooke. Because he like, Brooke, you know what? She was a cheater. I can't deal with a cheater. And that's what he told Alexis. She was a cheater. She kind of admits it towards the end. Yeah, well, whatever. But hold the phone. Brooke isn't biting on that bait. She doesn't care that he broke up things with Alexis. She's keeping her guard up, ready to sleep with one eye open forever. Okay, forever dumb. After all, when you're dealing with a con artist, it's always wise to expect the unexpected. So there you have it, folks. Another episode filled with love, betrayal, and another drama-filled soap opera on that's going to be detailed on Life After Lockup. Now, Joey and Michael, they're over. Joey's devastated. In the meantime, Michael meets up with his friend Spencer, who thinks he can slide in on and take Joey's place. But not so quick there, little Spencer, because Michael, in all of his glory, makes it crystal clear that he's not interested in a relationship with anyone, except, of course, for his one true love, the crack pipe. All right, leaving poor Spencer in a shock right along with Joey. So they both been shot. 3 weeks later, unfortunately, Michael's back in the pokey because he didn't do right. He only checked in with his PO on the day that Joey took him, and he only stayed at the halfway house one night, and then he was gone. And then this leaves, he leaves many broken hearts. Joey's wondering whether or not he'll ever find true love. In the meantime, Joey's back where he's comfortable. Not Joey, Michael's back where he's comfortable, charged with, of course, candy possession, and he's set to be released in 2029. Oh, 4 more years. Now, moving on, next on the docket is Brian and Brooklyn. So let me tell you about Brian's latest adventure that could only be described as a classic case of what were you thinking? Seriously, picture this. In a moment of sheer genius, I say sheer stupidity, Brian and his bud decided to hit a strip club because nothing says responsible adulting like beat the 3 p.m. curfew shenanigans, right? I mean, you got 20 minutes. How are you going to go to a strip joint and eat some hot wings? And that's no kind of friend, if you ask me, Brian. You need to ditch the friend because he doesn't care about your sobriety. And so he makes it back because Brian says, you know what? Forget this. Let's just get back home. He gets there at 3:01. They stroll up to Brian's place with his drawers practically around his ankles. And let's just say curfew was not on their to-do list. Talk about living on the edge. It is crazy. And I'm going to say that entire scene was disrespectful. And his buddy is driving on her grass. Brian's pulling up his drawers, laughing as soon as he walked in the crib. And it's just really annoying. Just really annoying. The filthy house and everything. And he is no prize. And he should be on his knees thankful. But anyway, he confesses to Brooklyn that Brian was trying to take her to the strip joint. And the fight starts, and it really ends very quickly because they get on the topic of kids and that he wants kids. Needless to say, Brian already has a child, just like she already has a child. But close, according to the little snapshot at the end of their scenes, they're still living with each other. He is off house arrest, and they're trying to conceive. Conceive. Okay, well, I hope he did land that job because he probably has to land the job because he wouldn't be in the house if he didn't have a job. But in the meantime, in between time, I want to give some final thoughts on this whole season. It was very messy, but it was very, 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 very entertaining, my loves. Ooh, I would say it's a good season. It was a very good season, not too much downtime. It was on and popping. So it's interesting because I don't think that's going to happen with Life After Lockup. Just saying. It's probably going to be a letdown, but we will have to stay tuned, my loves. In the meantime, in between time, you know what you got to do. Like the video, drop a line because we're going to still continue this conversation down in the comment section as well as subscribe if you have not subscribed already, my loves. And in between time, in the meantime, I'll catch you all out. And in between time, in the meantime, I'm going to catch you all out on the flip side.